Hey everyone, it's April and welcome back to my channel House to Home. Today we are going to be making some Easter DIY projects using supplies from the website burlapfabric.com. They were kind enough to send me some of their crafting supplies so that I would be able to come up with some fun and exciting projects for you guys to try to recreate at home. So if you are new here, I would love for you to take a minute and hit that subscribe button down below. It's free and I do DIY projects, shopping hauls, and decorating and anything to do with the farmhouse style. And I do videos twice a week. So if you don't want to miss out on any future videos, definitely consider subscribing. On Wednesday, I will be having my highly requested spring and Easter home tour, so you do not want to miss it. So let's just jump right on into the video. So the first project that we're going to work on is some burlap stuffed bunnies. Now, burlapfabric.com, if you go on the website, you can pick up these whole sheets of burlap, and they come in a variety of different colors, and I believe they come in packs of 12. You can get like a multicolor pack or just pick one solo color, and this is like a brighter blue. I got gray, and I also got a white color. So right now we're going to be working with the gray piece, and one of these sheets of burlap is big enough to make one stuffed bunny. So what I did was I went online and I found a bunny that would fit in half of the sheet if I folded it in half, and I printed it out and then I cut it out onto a piece of cardboard, and that way I would have it to trace onto the fabric. Now you can search online like bunny shape and you can find multiple ones if you'd rather one that kind of stands up more straight, but I went with this kind of sideways bunny. And I'm going to put him down onto my burlap, and I'm going to trace him with a Sharpie marker. And just kind of lightly do it. Don't push down too hard because you don't want a ton of the marker showing onto your fabric. Now, if you missed a few spots, just go back in with your Sharpie and kind of connect the lines and fill in the space, just so you can tell where you should cut with your scissors. And then once we are done that, we are going to work on the other bunny, which will be on the other side of the burlap. Now with this bunny, I'm flipping over my pattern. That way, the two sides that have the Sharpie will be going in toward each other, and we'll be able to hide them better when we stuff it, if that makes sense. So just make it that your bunnies look like they're going to be kissing each other. And now just cut both of the bunnies out, and when you're done, we will start working on gluing and stuffing it together. So now we have our two bunny pieces. We're going to make sure that the marker side is facing on the inside for both bunnies. We're going to put them down together and make them line up the best we can. And it's okay if they're like a little bit off. I mean, it's burlap, so it's not going to have a perfect clean edge, and you're just going to go around with your hot glue, and you're just going to keep putting down a band and then pushing the fabric together. And I advise you to be very careful, because since it is burlap, when you're touching it, you know, the glue does seep out of the holes a little bit, so just be careful you don't burn yourself. And if you could get some of those like silicone tips to protect your fingers, I highly recommend it, but my fingers are pretty used to getting burned by hot glue at this point. So like I said, just keep following around. Just make sure that you leave an opening so you will be able to stuff the bunny. I'm going to leave my opening probably on the bottom down here by his feet, just because there's less like curves and things for us to work with, and it'll be like the easiest way for me to get my hand up in there. So now I'm going to start stuffing the bunny. I have tons of extra stuffing because my dogs are very mischievous and chew open every dog toy that I give them. So I save it in a bag. So that is what I'll be using. And I just keep pushing it down into the bunny. I will use the edge of my scissors if I need to, because I'm just trying to push that stuffing down into the ears to fill it out the best I can. And like I said, if you know, just use a tool, something long that you can push if you can't do it with your hands, and just keep stuffing and stuffing until you get it the right fullness that you want. And when we get to the bottom, we're just gonna hot glue them shut. Make sure that you get some stuffing in the tail area and in the foot as well. Now, just the same way we glued the bunny together, we're going to close it up. Just keep kind of pushing the rest of the stuffing back, and then putting a band of glue, and then squeezing the two burlap pieces together. And that will be it, and you will have your bunny complete. And at this point, if you see any type of like extra frayed strings or glue or anything on it, you can go around with your scissors and just give it a little trim. I just have little tiny bits of fraying around the tail and by the ears, but you can clean it up real easily, and it shouldn't fray much anymore because the hot glue kind of, you know, keeps it all together. Now, if you would like to decorate your bunny, you can put some sort of a ribbon on it. And I picked up this ribbon also from burlapfabric.com. They have tons of different colors and varieties of this sort of ribbon. So if you like kind of this, you know, farmhouse look with the frayed edge, I will have that down in the description box below. And I'm just going to take the smaller one. I believe this one is 2 inches. The other one's a little bit too thick for these bunnies. So I'm going to cut a piece off, and I'm not going to tie a bow. I'm just going to tie it into like a little like kind of half knot with the 2 pieces hanging down, kind of like what it would look like if it was a scarf. And just tie it in a double knot. And at this point, if you want to add anything else to it, you could, you know, put some greenery or things. I'm just going to keep these little guys simple. And you could also add a little cottontail to his butt if you would like. But I do that on enough of my bunnies, so I'm just going to leave these 2 go. And that is how they turned out. Super cute, super easy to make, and very inexpensive with burlapfabric.com's sheets of burlap. You can stick these in baskets, on shelves, you know, just anywhere around your house. And you can make smaller bunnies or bigger bunnies, just depending on your preference. You can make them in all sorts of colors and different ribbons, and they're just very customizable. For the next DIY, we're going to make some burlap carrots. Now I'm starting out with just a piece of cardboard that I cut off from one of the ends of my Amazon boxes. I'm sure you have some sort of box or cardboard laying around. If not, you can pick some up from Dollar Tree. And there's no specific measurement, just for how big you want to make your carrot, just as long as it's kind of like a rectangle. And you're going to start at one corner, and you're just going to roll it up until you get like a cone shape. And it doesn't have to be perfect. We're just trying to kind of get that cylinder shape with the point at the end, so that we have kind of a base to use to start making our carrots. So you'll just take a little bit of hot glue and you'll hold your finger there and pinch it until it dries. It'll take some, extra strength just holding it there for a few seconds. And then once it does, if there's any stickers or anything on it like I have, just make sure you peel it off, because you do not want it showing through when we put the burlap around the carrot. Now I'm just going to take my scissors and kind of cut this part off on the top that is uneven, just to kind of make it more like a straight line. Now, burlapfabric.com, they sell rolls of colored burlap that are kind of like a ribbon, but they already kind of have like a frayed edge to them. So I picked up a roll in orange and I picked up a roll in green, and I'll have them linked down below. I'm going to start by adding just a little bit of hot glue and holding my orange burlap down at the tip. And then once I feel like that has dried, I am just going to tightly keep wrapping it around the cone, overlapping it. That way you don't have too much of the cardboard showing through. And I'm not going to add any more glue until I get to the very end, so just keep on wrapping. Now at the very end here, we're just going to add some hot glue. And I tried to leave that the burlap went a bit above the cone. That way I could put some hot glue on the inside and then kind of push that burlap down in there to hide the cardboard. Just be very careful you do not burn yourself. But I did that, and I just kept tucking it down in and then pushing it with my scissors and my fingers once it cooled off a little. And then I'm squeezing the burlap on the bottom of the cone, like at the tip, with some more hot glue to make it have more of a pointy shape. Next, for the top of the carrot, I am just cutting strips of the green, and then I'm also cutting them in half just so I have smaller pieces, and then I'm just sticking them into that opening of the cone. And once you have them, in the exact positioning that you would want, then just hot glue them down in there. And that is it for these carrots. I have made 2 of them so far, and I'm going to make a 3rd one, and you could see how much of the burlap I still have left. So you could get a lot of carrots with these rolls of burlap. So you can decorate with these carrots individually, but I'm going to take the 3 of mine and I'm going to wrap them together with this purple, lavender, and a nude jute twine that I also got from burlapfabric.com. And this comes in a variety of different colors as well, but I went with the purple since I do like purple and yellow for my spring theme. So I will have that down in the description box as well. And I am just going to double wrap this, kind of like, if you were going to be wrapping like a set of books together. And then once I do that and I do it nice and tight 2 times around, I will tie it into a bow. And that is it for our burlap carrots. I think these are super cute and you could use them pretty much all around your house. You could even make a garland out of these if you wanted to. Maybe you'd make the carrots a little bit smaller, but there are just so many different things you can do with them, and I really like what they look like when they're all stacked together and tied like a bushel of carrots. And for our last DIY, we're going to be making a bunny pillow. Now, this pillowcase it's not exactly burlap, it's like a canvas material. This is also available at burlapfabric.com, and this is the 18 by 18 size, and it zips up, and all you have to do is just, insert a pillow into it. So these are available on the site. I will have them listed down below. And what I'm going to do for this pillowcase is I have this little wooden bunny that I broke off of a sign that I picked up at Dollar Tree. And I believe it said Happy Easter on it, and then the bunny's on the side if you're trying to find it in store. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this bunny on the pillowcase 3 times, and they're all going to be going the same direction. And I'm just trying to figure out where the center is, and then I'm going to get a pencil and I'm going to lightly trace this just enough so that I can see it and I'll be able to fill it in, but I don't want to have any harsh pencil lines. Repeat 2 more times, just trying to line them up evenly spaced next to each other. Next, I'm going to take my Waverly chalk paint in the color Elephant, and with a paintbrush, I'm just going to paint these bunnies, simple as that. You can use any color you would like. You could do each bunny a different color. It is totally up to you. I'm going a little bit more neutral, so I'm going to be painting them gray. And once you finish painting, you should only take 1 coat because the canvas soaks up the paint pretty well. Just let it dry, and then we'll be ready to decorate. Now, I will let you guys know that this pillow is not going to be washable when we're done, or you won't be able to throw it in the washing machine. You would just pretty much be able to spot clean it. 1, because of the fact that we're using chalk paint, and also because of the little embellishments that we are going to be gluing on. But if you did want to be able to wash them, then I would recommend using some sort of a washable fabric paint and maybe doing something else instead of, gluing things actually onto the pillow. But if not, just put it somewhere that's, going to be more for show and not get a lot of use, and you probably won't really have to worry about it getting stained or any marks on it. So now that my bunnies are almost dry, I'm going to take some of that lavender and tan jute twine, and I'm going to tie it into little bows, and I'm going to make 3 of them, 1 for each of the bunnies. 2 of them I am going to hot glue around the bunnies on the outsides around their necks. And then I'm going to make a 3rd bow that will go on the middle rabbit on the top by its ears to make it look like it's a girl bunny. Now, of course, I have to add some little cottontails onto their butts just because I think it's such a cute added little touch. I believe I picked these up at Walmart in like a pretty decent sized pack, and I've used them on so many projects. And that is it for our pillow. All you have to do now is just stuff a pillow insert inside or stuff in some stuffing if you do not have a pillow. And this is all of our DIY projects and how they turned out. I'm absolutely in love with them. I think they're all really super cute and they look very high end. Like you would not know that they were not bought from a store, and you know, we made them pretty inexpensively. So I would like to thank burlapfabric.com for sending me these amazing supplies. I will have all of them linked down below so you could get your own, so you could recreate some of these DIY projects. So until the next one, I'll see you guys then. Bye.